Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So I have my husband here with me, and I said in past videos I was going to do this video this weekend, and it's really late at night. It's like 10 o'clock at night, but we've been busy and it's been a crazy weekend, so this is when we have time to do it. So we're going to talk about the 3-year anniversary of our first miscarriage coming up. Technically, August 1st is when we found out we were going to miscarry, but we didn't miscarry till the 12th when I had surgery. But I've always said that today, I don't know, I guess just marks is the anniversary for me. I don't know. I never consider like my D&C date as the miscarriage date. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. So 3 years, we found out July 6th, 2016 that we were pregnant. I still have all my pregnancy tests sitting up in a bag right across the way here on our dresser, which is probably weird to some people, but I have all of them. There's like 20 in that bag because, you know, when you have miscarriages and struggle to get pregnant for so long, you kind of just keep them. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. But I still have all of them in that bag. I don't open that bag very often. I don't touch that bag. I think there was one time I lost it and I was getting really upset because I couldn't find it. And now it just sits there. It does not move. But we found out July 6th. I remember where I was working. I think you were still at the racetrack, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were still at the racetrack. And I was working at a call center, and I was still in training. And I just remember 2 days before that, it was July 4th, and I remember having like really, really bad cramps. And at this point in time, I was told that I had endometriosis, and so that's what I thought it was. It was just a flare-up from that. Well, I don't have it. If you've watched earlier videos, you know I do not have that, but at this time, my doctor thought I had it. So I thought nothing of it. I really didn't think anything about my period because I have 33-day cycles, so they're never on the same date every month. Very rarely are they 30 days apart. So I didn't think anything about being late or anything like that. And I realized I was eating a lot of watermelon and cantaloupe like every day. And so I decided to go ahead and take a test on the 6th, and it was super, super faint, like really faint. It was barely there. And I took a couple more that day, and again, they were super faint, so I got a hold of my doctor. We did blood work, and my HCG was 18, which is why they were so faint. And just from that beginning, we pretty much knew things probably weren't going to go right, because at 4 weeks, your HCG should not be 18. It should be in the hundreds, and it wasn't. So fast forward through all of the blood draws, so many ultrasounds we had, because I was always going to the ER too because I was paranoid every single time anything felt wrong. So we had a lot of blood draws, we had a lot of ultrasounds, a few appointments, a lot of appointments, I feel like, in that one tiny month that we knew we were pregnant. But my HCG, it would double every 48 hours. He didn't like how, I guess it wasn't doubling, I don't know. I felt like it was doubling like it should have. It was still rising. It didn't drop until August, like all the way up until like the end of July. My HCG was almost 1,000, if not more. We kind of just stopped getting blood drawn because there was no point. But I remember one ultrasound in July. It was before we found out, really before we confirmed anything. They said twins, but they couldn't confirm it because I wasn't far enough along. She said, I'll never forget that, when she said it could be twins. That was pretty scary. So it was never really confirmed, but I've never had an ultrasound tech say that before, ever. And I did do Clomid for like, I did 2.5 cycles of it. And by that point, we weren't trying very long either. It was 6 months, 5 months that we had been trying. And we got pregnant off half a cycle of Clomid. So, I mean, if it was twins, it wouldn't be shocking because I was on fertility treatments and my mom's a twin. And there's some twins in our families. I think, don't you have some twins in your family? Like, distant?
Mm.
So, it wouldn't shock me if that ever happened again as well. But everything was confirmed via ultrasound August 1st that, because I should have been 7.5 weeks by that point, and there should have been a sac, a fetal pool. There should have been a heartbeat or heartbeats at that point, and I mean there was nothing. There was a sac, and that's all there was. There was nothing in it, and by that point, I think it was like a week or two after she said she thought it was twins. Like there was only one sac, so could have absorbed. It could have already gone away. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I do know that we never had heartbeats. That was a whole thing throughout the whole thing. We never heard a heartbeat or anything like that. But August 1st, we had the ultrasound, and they confirmed that we weren't gonna have a successful pregnancy. I mean, there was just no point in coming back to the doctor after that because I was either gonna pass it on my own or we were going to have surgery. And I had a DNC before, which is how I got pregnant with my daughter. So I was like, yeah, I want to elect for the DNC because if you've ever had a miscarriage, you know going on your own really sucks, and it can be traumatic depending on how far along you are, how much you bleed, how much you cramp, all of that. And I had already been through my first miscarriage. I passed it all on my own, and it was horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever done. And then I had my DNC with the second one, and then I had my daughter. And so this was the fourth pregnancy I had, and our first together. So we elected for the DNC. I did end up bleeding on my own, I think right a couple days before the DNC. I started bleeding on my own, but he still wanted to do it just to make sure we had all the scar tissue and all of that out. Looking back now, I don't think it was smart to have it, just because of all the issues we had after. Well, I had a lot of issues after I had my DNC, so I don't think I should have had it, but we did. But I guess the point of this video, for me anyways, I like to talk about my feelings. He doesn't. I figured this would be a good way to get his take on it, his feelings about it, his feelings now that time has passed. He's not a talker. So this will be fun. It doesn't feel like 3 years, like, at all. I feel like it's been longer, if anything. I feel like it's been the longest 3 years of my life. Because a couple days after we found out we were going to miscarry, we got married. 4 days later, we got married. So we were kind of like a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening, whole bunch of emotional stuff happening, and we were already engaged. We got engaged July 24th? Yeah, July 24th. But we had decided we were going to get married like a week or two earlier than that. We were camping. We already knew we were pregnant, so we decided we were going to get married. We kind of did everything backwards. We got pregnant, decided we were getting married, got our marriage certificate, and then got engaged, and then got married 12 days later. So everything, I don't know, I think we rushed a lot of it, but the information we had, like, we rushed getting pregnant because of what my doctor had told me. And I guess really he wasn't lying because we still don't have a kid. So, I mean, I don't regret doing that. I don't regret getting married either. We did rush it, but I think for us it was the right thing, considering the circumstances. I don't know. Do you think it was right? I mean, you're still here. Obviously, he thinks it was right. He's still here, so I don't know. But it's been a long 3 years. Very long. A lot has happened even since then. We've gone on to lose 3 more very early miscarriages. Very early. Haven't even made it past 5 weeks in the last 3. Which I've not made it out of the first trimester besides with Emmy. All of my miscarriages were, I had one late first trimester miscarriage, and that was my second one. I was almost 12 weeks pregnant when I lost that one. So they're all super early, so it's just like, feels like as soon as it implants, it's gone. Like, it just automatically stops growing. It doesn't make it past 6 weeks. I don't know why. We still don't know why. But a lot has happened. So much. It's ridiculous. I don't even want to go into all of it. But I think this one, will always affect me the most. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's because of who my partner is now versus who my partner was, like my daughter's dad. I think there's a big difference between the two of you, like huge. And I think maybe I don't know, maybe because we wanted it so bad and we tried so hard to have it, and the information we were given was start having kids now. They're like, start trying now or you're not going to have any kids. Because at that point they thought I had endometriosis, and endometriosis can make it super hard to have kids. My mom had it, and she had to have a full hysterectomy by the time she was 31. Well, thankfully she had 3 kids before then, so it didn't hinder her having kids. But it can make the process harder. And at that point, we were only together 3 months. 3 months when we were told, you need to start having kids or you're not going to have that option anymore. And here we are 3.5 years later, we don't have any kids. So I guess he's kind of right on that aspect of it. And all the stuff we've been through since, it makes it really hard. I don't know, it makes it really hard to keep trying to have kids. But then again, it makes it harder to try to give up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do that, so I don't know. It's just a lot of emotions and feelings with that miscarriage. I know for me, I went on a downward spiral for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
With that one, I had gone back to my old job at a call center that I was at previously. I had to take a break in between because I was switching from account to account, 2 different parts of the call center. They had separate accounts and I was switching, but I had to wait for the new class to start because I needed new training. So right when I was having the miscarriage, I went back. I actually had my surgery while I was still working. I went to work the same day I had my surgery, which is a whole different story I won't get into. But when I was working there, I saw so many pregnant people. And that for me was a huge trigger at that time. And I couldn't figure out why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And that's when I was diagnosed with anxiety. I already knew I had depression. I was diagnosed with that when I was a teenager. So that, I thought, had a part in it. But the anxiety really showed after that miscarriage. And I saw a therapist a few times for it. A grieving counselor or something to do with that they offer when you've lost a baby or you've lost a pregnancy or a child or what have you. They offered that service. So I did see her a few times, and I don't feel like it helped just because I don't think I was grieving properly. My daughter she was 3. She just turned 3 at that time. And so she really didn't understand anything that was happening. And I still had to take care of her. I still had to go to work. I just, I had to go back to every normal day things, and I could not do it. I remember leaving work early a few times because I just could not handle being around anybody that was pregnant. Anytime I'd see a pregnant girl, it would trigger me. I would have an anxiety attack, and I'd have to leave. And I was still getting notifications on my phone from, like, this website about, like, how far along I should be and everything else. And it was rough. It was very rough. I didn't know how to process my emotions, I don't think. Which is weird because I had had 3 other miscarriages, and I thought I did okay. But this one really it was hard. Very, very hard on me emotionally. And this guy doesn't talk about emotions. So I think we grieved separately.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't grieve together, and that probably made the process harder for me too, because I don't think you don't know how to grieve, I don't think. Or you grieve in your own way.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't the type of grieving that I don't know how to explain it, but we were separate in grieving. And I think that's when a lot of problems started for us, is when we lost that pregnancy.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't talk about emotions. We didn't talk about how we were feeling. And we got right back into trying. Like, right after my DNC, we didn't even wait a week. And I think it really messed up my body to do that, because I thought, all right, well, this is how I got pregnant with my daughter, so we're just gonna do it again. And I didn't wait long enough. I should have at least waited 2 weeks before we started trying again, and I didn't. And then my cycle was all thrown off. I had to be put on medication to start my cycle because I thought I was pregnant again right away. And it was a whole big roller coaster for the first few months of emotions that I think I displayed horribly.
No, not at all.
It was bad. I mean, it was bad. My emotions were horrible. But how did you feel with all of it, like, emotion-wise? How did you grieve?
I just grieve the way I grieve.
In silence?
Pretty much. Battle my own demons in my head. Go on about my day.
I wish I could do that.
Adapt to change and go on with it.
I wish I could do that. I don't know how to do that. But it might be the anxiety and the depression. I don't know. I've never seen anybody deal with stuff how you do. Just all pent up inside and don't let it out. But how, you're going to have to actually speak words. I want your emotions on it, your feelings on it.
All about it.
What did you feel? Like, how did you feel with the whole thing?
Yeah, it sucked. I pretty much acted the same way you did.
Just
emotional spiral and pretty much fighting against each other.
yeah. Probably.
Lasted a couple of years.
It did. It lasted a few years. We've come to terms with that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the first time I ever seen you cry in the doctor's office. Because it was me, you, my sister, and Emmy when we had that last ultrasound.
Mm-hmm.
And we already didn't have a good experience with the doctor.
Mm-hmm.
And so it kind of made it harder, because I felt like it was my fault. The doctor kind of made me feel like it was my fault because I didn't find out fast enough. But I was only 2 days late for my period, and my HCG was super low anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how I could have possibly found out any sooner than what I did. But he just wasn't very optimistic, which, I mean, okay, I get, but the experience with him was already bad, and I don't think it helped when we got the final confirmation. It just didn't help at all to have a doctor that just really didn't seem like he cared at all. But now that it's been 3 years, I feel like I deal with it a lot better now than what it was back then. Like, a lot better. I've kind of got a handle on my anxiety a lot better than what I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not on medication for it. I haven't been on medication for it in a very long time, which probably was the worst thing I could have done, was go off medication. But now, 3 years later, I think it's been a lot better. At least in the last few months, I've been a lot better with it.
Mm-hmm.
But now, do you think about it? Do you wonder, like, what would have happened if we would have had that kid, or no?
Not much anymore.
No? Don't want to? Don't like to?
I did the first couple of months, and then
You just kind of moved on in your own way. Yeah. I think that's typical, though, for men.
mm-hmm.
It's not a lot of people, like, when you go through this, not a lot of people talk about how the man feels. They don't talk about what the man lost. They don't, I don't know, there's just not a lot of awareness for men when it comes to this stuff. Like, it's the woman that goes through it.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe because it's our bodies, and we're actually, like, feeling all of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that needs to change at some point in some type of way. I don't know. I feel like men need to grieve the same way we do, or they need the chance to put their thoughts out there. Men, I don't feel like show emotion anyways, hardly.
I sure as hell don't.
No, you don't. It's very, keep it in, be quiet, move on type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if that works, it works, but...
Worked for 27 years.
I guess.
Learned how to do it at an early age.
I mean, I don't know if that's good or not, but I mean...
I don't either, but experienced a lot of deaths early in my life.
I haven't. I've not really lost anybody close to me, other than my pregnancies. But other than that, I've not had to deal with all of that, so I don't grieve very well.
I learned how to do that a long time.
Well, he's an expert at grieving. So if you need tips or pointers, just ask him. He might have an answer for you. You make it hard to do videos because you just very quiet, don't really have much to say.
Yeah.
I've been telling him we're going to do this video, so he had all kinds of time to prepare any type of answer.
You never know what's coming out of your mouth.
Mine?
Yeah. No, the TVs.
Well, you know, I'm kind of all over the place in my thoughts, but...
Can't prepare for nothing that you can't.
I know I should have wrote down questions, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Give me something to actually go off of.
Next time I'll write down questions and I'll read them off.
There you go.
Yeah. Might make it more effective because my thoughts and I'm all over the place. I jump from thing to thing and I can't help it.
Hell, by the time the video comes around, them questions ain't even going to be the ones you want to ask.
That's true. I would have to write them as we're doing the video. I feel like I think about all the time, you know, who the kid or the kids would have been, because they would have been 2 this year. 2 on March 22nd,
Yeah.
which is the day after my dad's birthday, so that would have been really cool. And my brother's birthday is the 11th. My grandma's birthday is the 7th. So we have a lot of March. My uncle's birthday is the 12th. We have a lot of March birthdays. But I constantly think, not constantly, but at least once a day, I I'm not gonna lie. It's at least once a day that I wonder, man, I wonder what it'd be like right now with 2 2-year-olds or like 1 2-year-old and a 6-year-old at home. Like, how crazy would our life be? Like, would we still be together? One, because kids change a lot of things. I'd like to think we would, because you came into this marriage with a kid that's not yours and you're still here. I feel like that's harder to do. Maybe? I don't know. I've never dated anybody with kids. I don't ever want to. Sorry. Sounds crappy. But if we split up, I ain't dating nobody with kids.
Good luck.
Yeah. I don't want that drama in my life.
Yeah,
I have it on my end. I'm good. But one, would we still be together? I would really hope we would be, because, I mean, like I said, got a kid that's not yours that you raised, so it really wouldn't be much different other than they're biologically yours. 2, boy or girl, or 2 of each, or 1 of each. That would be crazy to have twins.
2 boys.
I think so. In my gut, I feel like it was a boy and a girl. In my gut, feel like it was twins. Just because of how soon the symptoms started. Like, it was super fast that symptoms started. And with Emmy, I didn't have symptoms till like 6 or 7 weeks. I got big fast too. But I mean, we still have the boy name that we had picked out from then. We still want that name. The girl name has changed a lot. A lot. I don't know. I always wonder what our life would be like right now. Would it be crazy? Would it be better? Would it be worse? Was it not the right timing? Was it the right timing? I don't know where he's going, but he's getting up. I'll wait.
For what?
For you to sit back down.
They can still hear me.
I guess, but...
Well, they need to see my emotionless face.
Yeah. He doesn't wear emotions on his sleeves. I do. He doesn't. But now we've lost 3 more very early miscarriages. Very, very early. Like, as soon as we found out. My knees are in your face.
Might as well just stand back up again.
But as soon as we found out we were pregnant, which you guys have been here for all of that, they were gone. So there wasn't really much time to process any of it. There wasn't much time to get excited, really. Wasn't much time
There's
to...
no excitement out of me until that thing comes out kicking and screaming.
There was no excitement. There's really no way to grieve it, because it was there and then it was not. Like, I don't know. Just, I'm sure at some point those emotions will come out of me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like it was as devastating as that one was. At least for me. No. This guy, I've already said, I'm not telling him I'm pregnant till I have an ultrasound done. Whether it's good or bad, then I'll tell him. But I am no longer going to tell him before I have any type of doctor's appointment. Because he's like, oh, okay. Not much to get excited about yet.
Till I see proof. And...
The tests aren't proof enough.
Well, no.
Because
that time they ain't even right.
No, I stopped buying those ones. The one where I got pregnant and then not pregnant on 2 different tests, they don't even sell those ones anymore. Those ones I will not buy anymore. And Meyer doesn't even have them, so forget those tests. I don't think I was pregnant at that point, though. I think that was just a bad test. But sometimes I will get what I think is a faint line, and then nothing comes of it. That's happened, though, since we've been together. And that's really what led up to start having kids or not gonna have any. So I've always had that issue. But I know a dark line from barely any line. So, I don't know. I think next time I'm going to wait to tell you. If I can keep it in.
Yeah, you can't do that.
I'm going to at least have to tell a couple people. Like two of my friends and my mom. Those are usually the first people I tell. And then after I get like 4 tests, I'm like, all right, I'm going to tell them. And then it ends up bad. I can't keep my own secrets. I can keep other people's secrets, but not my own. I can't help it. I just feel like I got to tell somebody. And it just never ends up good. So I'm going to wait. And then I don't know how long we'll wait to tell everybody. Probably once we know everything's okay.
Once it comes out kicking and screaming.
I can't hide a pregnancy that long. I couldn't. I would be way too big for that.
I know. Sarcasm, dear.
It's very good at that. But this time, we did not get pregnant in July. So my body has time to recover. I really hope it is. Because I've been taking my prenatal vitamins, the Conceive Easy pills, which I hate taking. Makes me want to throw up. Makes me want to gag every time it goes down because I can feel it touch my throat and it's gross. My myofolate, I usually put that in hot tea, either at night or in the morning. It's a little packet. And then that's it. That's all I'm taking. And I can see a difference, other than my headaches. I think that's just from trying to cut down on caffeine. But, I've been tracking my ovulation since cycle day 5. And I'm already close to ovulation. Whereas I don't ovulate till, day 17 or day 18. And it's already day 10, and I'm almost at ovulation. So I think that myofolate and that Conceive Easy is kind of, helping my system a little bit. I don't know. I don't know if any of this is even going to work because, we've been trying for 3.5 years and 2 IUIs didn't work. So why would just this work? I don't know. Got to be a little bit hopeful, I guess. I don't want to go to my appointment in September to my specialist. I do because I want a diagnosis of what's wrong, but it would be great to be able to get pregnant on our own and stay pregnant on our own because I don't even want to think about fertility treatments again anytime soon. No, it's too expensive. IUI isn't that expensive, but he would have to get tested again, and so we'd have to pay for that, and then we'd have to pay which IUI is only $250, but it's all the testing that we'd have to do again, and that's without insurance. That is way too expensive, and I will have insurance here soon. I don't know what it'll cover, but it's just not in our plans right now to do that. I thought maybe I could ask about Clomid because that is the cheapest option for us, and I got pregnant on it before, so I don't see why I wouldn't get pregnant off of again. I don't know, because I think maybe if it's just my ovulation that I have issues with and my progesterone, I might be okay, but I don't know. There's no real diagnosis for me right now. So that's why I have my appointment September 3rd, but it would be nice that we could get pregnant and stay pregnant on our own and not have to worry about it, because I think after we get pregnant again and have a kid, that's it. We're done. No more.
Oh, yeah.
No more trying, and if we're 35 and we have an oops baby, then so be it. Because I'm not getting fixed. Would you get fixed? No?
I don't know.
Probably not. You probably wouldn't. I don't want that option taken away from me until it absolutely needs to be. By the time I'm 40, I will get my tubes tied. How about that?
After all this, I think it's one and done for me.
It's just too much to keep trying. It would be too much to try it for a third.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, if it happened to happen, but I'm not going to any great lengths to do it. Mm-mm. And if we end up with twins, then we are tubes tied. Done, out of the game. No more.
Yeah.
I don't want 4 kids.
Mm-mm.
I don't even want 3. I just want 2. 2 is a good number.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gotta be a boy though.
It's not going to be a boy, but
It's gotta be.
we'll see.
Gotta carry on my name.
I guess. Well, guys, I think that's the end of our video. It is getting late.
It's past bedtime.
Oh my gosh, it's almost 11 o'clock. I will probably get this video up tomorrow because it's just too late and it's on my iPad and I gotta mess with it to get it on the computer and all of that. Probably edit some of this so it's not as long, because right now it's a pretty long video, but that's it. I don't know when I'll have another video up because I don't really have any other updates on anything. Probably won't for another few weeks or a month. I don't know. I just haven't been in the filming mood for anything, so thanks for doing this with me. You're very limited talking.
Here for moral support.
I guess that's all that matters. I don't ask him to do very many videos with me. He's only done, one other video with me? I think it was a very early video, like way back in like January or February, so he's not part of this very often. He's in the background on the sidelines just doing his part. That's it. Alrighty, well, we'll talk to you guys later.